What is up, everyone? My name is Mike Muhammad, and I am a 31-year-old boomer who still plays Pokemon games, even though I'm so goddamn old. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I really don't know why I'm still playing this shit, but let me tell you something. This new Pokemon Scarlet, man, this game right here, man, Pokemon Scarlet and the alternative version, Violet, I have to say, man, has ended up being probably one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games of all time, man. And honestly, I feel like people are not going to understand why this game is going to sell so goddamn well. And it just it's just really funny to see people overreacting like, oh my god, this game has sold 10 million copies. Pokemon fans do not give a shit. They have no standards, so on and so forth. I gotta be honest, man. My whole thing with this game is that, honestly and truly, it feels like the game I always wanted to play. Like I dreamt of existing when I was a young child. Like I remember playing Pokemon Stadium the first time, and it was like this 3D N64 game where you could fight the Pokemon, and it didn't have a whole adventure, but I remember thinking, like, imagine if the whole game could be like this. Imagine if they have, like, Pokemon out in the open world like this, and you could actually run around and stuff. This is the thing, man. Like, yes, the game sucks. Like, the performance is terrible. You're going to hear me say, yes, the game sucks, like 40 times in this video. Yes, the game sucks, but I love it. Yes, the game sucks, but it's my favorite Pokemon game of all time. And I've played all of them, man. I'm a 31-year-old boomer, man. I grew up playing Pokemon Red and Gold. I played, I think, almost every single generation of Pokemon. I think I've played at least once. So I know the history of this series like the back of my hand. I grew up with this stuff. And I gotta be honest, man, like, I really feel like Pokemon Scarlet is gonna be remembered very fondly, which may seem funny to say today. Now that we're seeing it getting like 6 out of 10 from IGN, Metacritic rating just keeps going down as more reviews come in, getting review bombed, people completely shitting all over the performance, and man, for me, this game, honestly, it's just I have never had so much fun playing a Pokemon game before. I never have, and like it's just the way you can freely explore, the way you can just run around like it's nothing, the way you can, especially, I would strongly suggest to people playing this game to try to go ahead and do all the Titan parts first. Do the Titan parts first, and that will end up unlocking all these mobility options for Koraidon or Miraidon. Right now, I'm about 20 or so hours into the game, and I'm still hooked on this shit like it's fucking heroin, man. I'm hooked on this shit like it's pokey crack, bro. Oh my god. I am embarrassed by how much I'm enjoying this. And the thing about this game, too, I feel like this game is truly made for, like, the pokey autists, man. The people who obsess over the very, like, the minutiae of Pokemon games. Who, like, the small things in this game just warm my fucking heart right up, man. Oh my god. For like the cold, jaded, old man Pokemon gamer like myself, this was like the shining ray of hope for this franchise. Which I know, like, yes, the game sucks. The performance is terrible. Yes, there's, like, utterly awful, awful frame drops at times. But, man, like, the thing is, despite all of that, I've managed to have a great time playing this game. Despite all of those things, I still find myself like I can't wait to just jump back in. I can't wait to just climb these mountains with Koraidon. I can't wait to just glide off of them. And like, there's times where you can stand on top of a mountain. You can see one Pokemon Center here, one Pokemon Center here. You can see like the whole rest of the map. You can just choose to just jump and glide into the direction of whichever gym, whichever city you feel like flying into. And it's a level of freedom that just has never been present before in Pokemon before. It's never been present like this, man. And it's never offered so much room to the player to just really go crazy, like, in terms of... And just the little things, man. Like, okay, there's Pokemon called Gimmighoul in the game. And basically this is like Korok seeds in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And they're scattered all over the map. And pretty much the goal is to collect 1,000 of them. Because if you can collect 1,000 of them and then level up a Gimmighoul, it will evolve into the 1,000th Pokemon, Gimmighoul. I think that's what it's called. And it's like a golden Pokemon, literally shining stack of 1,000 coins. And it's like immune to all status effects and has a bunch of other good bonuses to it. So, I don't know, I guess Pokemon still believes in the gold standard, doesn't move on to like crypto and Bitcoin and shit yet. Even though they're using like league points as currency in the game. Yeah, there's 2 currencies. That's really... I'm still wrapping my mind around why they're giving us 2 currencies, the league points and the money. This game seems to take some influence from Persona 5 in terms of the way, like, there's an academy and you study and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just like little decisions they made here. Just the fact that there's 18 badges that you get, that there's 5 Titans, 5 Team Star fights, and the 8 gym badges, and it ends up being that each one corresponds to one Pokemon type. Like, there may not be a Poison Gym, but there's a Poison Team Star leader. There may not be a Steel Gym, but there's a Steel Titan, that kind of thing. So I thought that was really cool. So, throughout this game, there's always one person who specializes in one type. I think that's nice to have. And just the variety. Just the storytelling is honestly, like, nice. Just to completing the Titan storyline, at least. I ended up feeling for the story of Arwen and his Nabostif, I think it's the name of the Pokemon. Like, it's gotten... And if you've ever had a pet that got sick or passed away or something like this will hit hard for you, man, because it's sad the way Pokemon, like, sometimes presents these stories of sadness between the trainers and the Pokemon. It still manages to hit even after all these years, man. Even after the Pokemon the First movie. I swear to God, that Pokemon the First movie is still great to this day. I've tried watching some of the newer Pokemon anime stuff, and I don't know if it's just me. This shit seems terrible, man. I feel like the first couple seasons of that Pokemon show had more soul than anything recent from the Pokemon anime. Like, really, I'm not a fan of, like, the anime. I'm not out here buying a bunch of Pokemon merchandise. I'm not into the trading cards. I'm into none of that shit, basically. For me, honestly, the games are the best part of this franchise. And I think part of the reason why these games suffer from things like poor performance is because they're rushing them out on, like, a 3-year cycle. Because everything has to move in motion, man. The trading cards, the anime, the merchandise is a huge one. They're gonna make so much money selling that Weed Cat, man. Sprigatito and Meowscarada, which I use as my starter. They're gonna sell so many plushies of that shit, man. just the little things in this game are just so wonderful to me. Like just the fact that like there's a thing where there's a B sharp that leads a group of little poniards, and you can, and this is like at level 50, man. So you can catch one of these ones that's leading the poniards, and it'll have something called a leader crest. And if you beat with this poniard, or with this B sharp, I should say, that has the leader crest that was leading other poniards, if you use it and beat other B sharps, specifically the ones that are leading a small group and also have the leader crest, if you beat like 3 of them, I think, if I understand it correctly, your B sharp will evolve into something called King Sharp or something like this. And it's like the old school samurai Pokemon. And this is like a reference to the unification of Japan, apparently, with like the warlords like Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, who helped unite Japan into one nation. So yeah, there's just little stuff in this game, man. Like, and I don't know, just like there's just something about like being able to just climb a mountain and just fly wherever the hell you want and just discover a bunch of really strong Pokemon that you haven't seen before, like finding some new TM. I haven't even gotten into the fact that there's like apparently 4 hidden shrines in the game with these stakes hidden everywhere. So that's another thing to do. Like, I've played this game 20 hours, and I feel like I have not scratched the surface, man. And I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, I had, like, beat the game in 20 hours. You know what I mean? So, in comparison, this game feels like a much deeper experience. And it's shocking to me that as a grown man, like, I'm not a little kid anymore. Like, as a grown-ass man who's played Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Persona 5 and fucking all these, like, hardcore, intense RPG games and Elden Ring and shit. Like, as a full-grown man who's played those kinds of games and those kind of deep RPG experiences, it's shocking to me that I'm having this much goddamn fun playing a Pokemon game that apparently sucks. And it's just, it really, I don't know. It's something that, like, I wonder how many other people feel this way. Like, is it just me? Am I the crazy person here? I don't know. Maybe I really am just a fucking man-child at heart, man. But all I can say for sure is that playing this new Pokemon, I don't even think Sword and Shield was nearly this good. Like, every single Pokemon game before Scarlet and Violet just seems completely to pale compared to just the level of freedom, the storytelling, like the Pokemon themselves, the little things, the little nuances in the game. The fact that to evolve like Charcadet into Armarouge, you have to like go and hunt, what is it, Bronix or something, and then collect a bunch of plates from it, and then take it to this one guy who will give you armor. And when you give it to Charcadet, he immediately evolves. Just like there's just so much little stuff throughout this game that you can do, and there's all the type of stuff that I feel like when you try to explain it to somebody who does not give a shit about Pokemon games and does not play it, who's either never played Pokemon or has not played them in like 20 years, like they just look at you like you're fucking crazy. They're just like, why is this fun to you? Like, what the fuck are you even talking about, man? And that's the thing, man. It's like the dichotomy of man. Like, the dude bros playing COD versus the fucking Pokeautists, like 30, 40-year-old people just, like, obsessively playing Pokemon games. Oh, my God. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Like, I know, like, I feel like so much of your mileage on this game just depends on, like, how able are you to, like, deal with glitches? How much do glitches in games bother you, really? Do you remember that Pokemon Red and Gold and those old school games all had glitches? Pokemon games having glitches is really just a return to status quo, you think it through. And at the end of the day, man, I had a ton of fun playing Red and Gold as a kid. This game's had a fuck ton of glitches. There were a bunch of problems with the games. There were ways you could, like, break your save file with those games. But I remember playing them as a kid, and I had a goddamn great time. I'm playing Pokemon Scarlet now, and I'm having a goddamn great time. And I think I'm definitely. I would say this game is my favorite Pokemon game, and it's not even close, man. So that's all I gotta say about it. Yes, the game sucks, but I fucking love it, and it's my favorite Pokemon game of all time. So I'm Mike Muhammad. I might be crazy, but I love Pokemon Scarlet, and thanks for watching this video.